Hello, hello, hello everyone. How's it going? It's Atsu. Or hello. So how many people are watching? Only 45 people. Well, cannot be helped because today is a weekday and everybody must be super busy, like dealing with their own stuff. So probably cannot be helped. Well, I just wanted to do a bit of a live streaming today so I can communicate with you guys. And this is like free Cambly. I'm looking for the best lighting now. I don't know where the best lighting is. Well, it's very white for some reason. But anyway, what's up? What's up, guys? Wow, 200 people watching. That's great. I might open the curtain a little bit to get natural light in. Right, this is such a random live, but just wanted to have a chance to talk in English and also communicate with you guys in English. So this time I'm not gonna speak Japanese at all. Well, this is gonna be only in English, but like if you've got any questions or anything, I can answer everything in English to you. Good eye, mate. Good eye, hello. So just to show you my workspace, this is my workspace. And this is my living room. And I've got another bedroom, and that's my place in Tokyo. Oh, I played Cambly yesterday. I like your words choice, played Cambly, because it's like a game, right? Yes, just started. Konpeki no sora. How's it going? Very good. I'm very good. And just enjoying the kappa. Kappa? Kappa is cup of coffee. It's so hot. Right, so how are you guys actually killing this time? You guys must be actually going through a really tough moment, me included, right? Like, what are you doing actually? How are you spending your time during this period? Like staying at home, right? Most of you, well, whatever you need, of course, you might have to go outside to do like grocery shopping, to meet some people, but just sleep. Oh, don't waste your time. Well, don't want to say that it's a waste of time, but well, sleeping is definitely critical. But yeah, study, work, like let's do something productive, right? There's something that you can, boost your ability and grow yourself further. Like putting the hard years, because now that we've got plenty of time, like what should we do? I think there must be something that we can do to further polish ourselves. And like after this disaster is over, right, there will be a clear distinction between like people who are like spending time wisely during this period and those who are just like slacking off, doing nothing, watching TV, I guess. So how have you been doing YouTube? So YouTube in general, well, the very first video that I posted on YouTube was in 2010. So now it's 2020, right? So it's been 10 years. Crazy, right? Well, at the time there wasn't even a function of monetization, so like nobody was making money on YouTube, and there wasn't such a word as YouTuber or like a specific word that refers to someone who's making money through YouTube. So I was just having fun posting videos on YouTube, and hindsight's obviously 2020, but if I cast my mind back to it, I had never thought of myself, being like a YouTuber. But like at a certain point in time, like somebody started calling me like Eigo YouTuber on the internet, right? And I found myself being called the Eigo YouTuber, and I was like, that was a point when I realized that I was a YouTuber, because being in Australia, actually, I wasn't really familiar with the word. So when I saw that, maybe that's how I should call myself. Like if I'm not But anyway, I want to learn about medical English. Wow, nice to meet you. Distinction 2000. Thank you, Distinction 2000. Like all of you who purchased Distinction 2000. I looked at some of the comments on Amazon, and unfortunately, a lot of people actually didn't understand the point of the illustration in the top left of the spread. So I will have to make a video to like clearly explain like how it works, because maybe some people or a lot of people thought that that's to be used to memorize vocabulary, but that is actually to stimulate or trigger the sentence, like after you familiarize yourself with the sentence. Should I remember phrasal verbs? Yes, definitely. Like native speakers use a lot of phrasal verbs, so you should definitely remember them. But when it comes to phrasal verbs, I would say the best book is Distinction 1 and 2, not Distinction 2000. Distinction 2000 is more like fundamentals. I bought Distinction 2020 yesterday. It's good. Okay, thank you, but it's Distinction 2000. Anyway, but thank you so much. What do you have routine in the morning? Well, I'm not a morning person. I'm not an early bird. I'm such a night owl who goes to bed around, say, 3 a.m. and wake up like 10, 11. So I don't really have a morning routine, but, you know, just make a cup of coffee and, you know, kind of wake my brain up and get started on my work. That's pretty much it. There isn't a routine really. 2000 or 2000. When I'm speaking in Japanese, I call it Distinction 2000, but maybe in English it's Distinction 2000. What do you have routine in the morning? So I've already answered that question. Your videos are new to motivate me. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. That's very nice of you. Since you often use Japanese in your videos, I didn't know how fluently you can speak English. Okay, so this is my level, so you can judge. How old are you? I'm 29. I'm turning 30 this year. But I look pretty young, so when I meet somebody from Western countries, they say I look like 19. But anyway, I'm proud of it. And that's sort of an Asian privilege, isn't it? Who is your favorite comedian in Japan? Well, I don't really watch TV, so I don't have many. But Sandwich Man is one of my faves. Do you always like English? Yes, I always like English. I think Cambly is a little expensive. Well, it depends on how you look at it, right? It's a platform where you can communicate with like native speakers at any time, right? So considering how convenient it is, and you know, given that the quality, i.e., where they're from, is they are from English-speaking countries, I don't think it's that expensive. But when you make a comparison with like other platforms such as like Rejo, with like the tutors are Filipinos, well, of course it's more expensive, but cannot be helped, right? Because the price level is different in those English-speaking countries. You know how much Cambly tutors are getting? They get like $10 an hour. $10, can you believe that? It's so cheap. So they're getting like super shit actually, out of being a tutor there. But so I think that's kind of reflected in the price already. I already did the calc, and if like everybody consumes, like utilizes 100% of their time on Cambly actually cannot make profit out of it. Yeah, I shouldn't have spoken Japanese, but yeah. So if you utilize 100% of the classes, then you are definitely recovering the cost, right? And they won't be making profit out of it. So I'm in Tokyo, so I'm in Japan now. Cambly was very fun. Tonight I have a chance to talk with Australian. Is there a phrase that impresses him? Say just, hey mate, how are you going? Or something like that. Like, how are you going? Or what else? Tonight, right? So having dinner, yeah? I don't know. To be honest, I don't have much idea of like which phrase is actually really Australian, but definitely how are you going? Catch good eye. Shopper is South African. Have Barbie. Barbie. I'm not really a Barbie person, but I think people enjoy Barbie in Australia. But to be honest, well, I haven't had much chance, like in the 7 years time staying in Australia, didn't have much chance to do the Barbie stuff. Maybe having a couple of drinks at a rooftop bar was much better than like doing the Barbie in the garden for me. What else? Are you interested in other languages? I'm interested in Chinese now. Well, so I want to experiment with myself how much Chinese I can absorb, in a given period of time, say a month or so. So if I was successful, I could, give you a bit of a crash course of how you can tackle it. In terms of reviewing Distinction 2000 is amazing, easy to review. Okay, thank you. Your video with Nick is very, very fun. Oh, thank you. So I've got a few plans to make videos with Nick, maybe next weekend. So yeah, look out for the next video too. When would you come to Hokkaido if the COVID-19 situation could get better? I don't know, like nobody can actually expect what will happen in the future, and obviously there's so much uncertainty now, but like if like everything has been settled, then I'll definitely go back to Hokkaido to see my parents. I just don't want to go back now because there's a risk that I may spread the COVID-19 to my parents and also relatives. So just sort of trying to self-quarantine as much as possible in Tokyo. Andrew is obviously self-quarantined in Australia. I have no interest in becoming an English teacher. I don't think I can teach well. Well, I can teach, but it's not efficient, right? Teaching face-to-face in front of like 40 students, I can only make an impact on 40 students. That's very inefficient. So like cost-benefit, there isn't much incentive in actually diving into that field to me. Do you think the coronavirus should be taken more seriously or is being taken too seriously? I'm not in a position to make a comment on that because I'm not an expert, but well, you cannot be too worried, right? And well, some people say the flu is much more dangerous and scary, and maybe there may be some truth to that, but given that there is so much uncertainty, we shouldn't take it too lightly, I think. And so everybody has to have an awareness that there is so much that could happen that nobody expects now. So yeah, just do whatever we can do, and let's just try to think it positively, taking advantage of this plenty of time that we can spend on studying and working hard to develop ourselves further. How do you speak English by yourself? Can you share a secret? So when I speak English to myself, I often imagine that there is somebody in front of me, but I don't play two roles. I play just my role, right? And maybe the person sitting right in front of me is just nodding without really giving me back a comment. But just imagine somebody's there. Like it can be audience, it can be a lot of people, one person, it can be anyone. But just keep talking to that person. Imagine there is somebody else there. That's not somebody there, and so yeah, it depends on also like your purpose of learning English. Like if you want to be able to speak fluently during your presentation, then imagine that there are like 40 people sitting in front of you, and then you've got this like PowerPoint slides there, and then just try to speak as if you were actually doing the presentation. I have like 50 masks left, but that's it. So if this is gonna take more than 2 months, then I'll be dead. I'm now studying Brisbane. I reckon Australian slangs and accents are so fascinating. I'm completely on the same page. How did you study English when you were a junior high school student? So when I was a junior high school student, I didn't study hard. Obviously, I was just passively taking lessons as part of compulsory education. Like what I just took whatever the teacher said that's gospel, and just like everybody, right? You know, sitting in the class, not really focusing on pronunciation, trying to memorize as many words as possible and trying to pass the test without having any big ambition for the future. How do you motivate your... there isn't a certain way to keep motivating myself, but just truly love the language is the best way to keep yourself motivated. Actually, motivation doesn't come from your conscious effort, but I think it should be coming from your unconscious love for the language, I guess, if you know what I mean. I came back from Dublin due to COVID-19 yesterday. I have countless regrets because it's still at 4 months. You still have 4 months, yeah? And it's necessary to ask language for 2 weeks as well. Tell me, what should I do? You should study with distinction. Like, no joke. Well, study something. Well, it doesn't have to be distinction, but like, try to keep growing yourself in, like, under any circumstances. I think you should just keep developing yourselves, right? There must be a brighter future waiting for you, like, after going through this tough moment. So do something productive. Just don't kill your time like watching TV, absorbing yourself in like stupid tweets and Twitter and stuff like that. Just do something productive, right? And stay positive. Do I think my English is getting rusty after coming back from Australia? Well, possibly, a little bit, slightly, because, you know, I have little exposure to English now, but even if I were in Australia now, I think the situation would be pretty much the same because I don't have much interaction with people, right? And I would be probably just taking calmly being in Australia, you know, like watching TV in English, which is what I do here in Japan as well. So, well, the fact that I came back from Australia to Japan and staying here now is not really making much difference between my current English and how my what my English level would be like if I were in Australia now. Don't I want to work in Japan? Well, I'm working in Japan now, right? So I'm working in Japan now, but I have no interest in working for a company based in Japan. So first of all, I don't really like working for a company owned by someone else. I want to run my own business and like do what I want to do, just achieve what I want to do. And, you know, I don't want to waste my time doing shit that I don't care, right? And 5 years of my experience at Deloitte was, well, of course, well, audit was not exactly what I really wanted to do, but I just loved, you know, communication, establishing relationships with people by interacting with Australians and like people from all over the world. So the 5 years of experience was really precious, and that's actually on the basis that I love English communication and like I love foreign countries. I expose myself to like different cultures. So, but I don't think I would be able to get that if I worked for a Japanese company here. So I don't think I have a plan to work for a Japanese company now, as of now. And I want to watch the Eigo Taizen number 3. So actually, Eigo Taizen number 3 has been already published, but it's not called Eigo Taizen number 3. Aiming for getting a TOEIC 900 is from scratch was a video that was to play a role of number 3. They prefer subtitles and no subtitles when watching foreign films. No subtitles, because if there was a subtitles, I would definitely watch the subtitles, right? So I won't be watching the movie, but I would be just watching the subtitles, which is not what I should do, right? So do I know Mori Tetsu Sensei studied Tadayobi on YouTube? Yes, of course. I saw a tweet on Twitter. I bought your new vocabulary distinction 2000 so far. It's actually great to forget about current situation of novel virus. TV news is still lingering away. Yeah, so TV news is just super depressing. I really hate watching TV, so I normally don't watch TV. I don't even have TV at home, and even in my bedroom there is no TV, because there is so much negativity there. Like even if there wasn't this COVID-19, right? It's full of negativity, and I really hate that, right? And the world that you are seeing is actually a combination of how you perceive the world and the existing facts. And I want to have a beautiful mix of my positive perception of the world and what's actually happening right now. And to realize that, like, if you keep watching like negative TV programs, you can actually realize that world, and that actually negatively like starts impacting your perception of the world, if that makes sense. So I may be a weird person, but sometimes I feel like this world is like a virtual reality, because like even two people were looking at the same thing, right? Like person A might think it positively, and then the other person might take it negatively, yeah, regardless of their living environment. So for example, some people might call like some people might think if there is a glass that's half filled with water, then some people might think that there is still a lot of water in there, but like others might think there's just little water in there. So the way you think about the world actually can change the way you react to things, and also the way you feel about the world, if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm not good at explaining. I'm not good at explaining this, but yeah, the media is so controlling. Good eye by Atsu. Do you want to cooperate with another YouTuber to make a video? Yeah, sure. I think I've done a few. Yes, I started YouTube when I was 19. When I had really poor English, but I have no regrets being able to like see how I improve my language over the like past 10 years is like really beautiful, and I couldn't have done this if I hadn't posted the video 10 years ago. So I was sent back to Japan from Australia due to the current situation. I was an exchange student. Yeah, that's unlucky. Yes, my name is Atsueigo Nishikata. Have you tried any other online English classes other than Cambly? I've tried RealJob actually. When I was 19, when I was 19, 20, I was taking RealJob lessons, because that was the only platform that was available for me to practice English online. So I connected myself with some RealJob tutors, and I even flew to the Philippines to see them. I stayed in a city called Iloilo City for 10 days. It was such a poor city. I really had like great memories, but so the city was so poor. There was so much rubble around my place, and I had like 3 blackouts in 10 days. And when I was in the bathroom, a huge frog came out of a hole, and I screamed and called my friend and said there was a huge frog, and he came to me and said, there's a huge frog, and just kicked it out of the place with bare feet, and I was like, Jesus, what's going on in this place? But anyway, 10 days, it sucks. Well, 10 days in United City was so much shit happened. Every time I comment, the one below gets a reply. Sorry. Next time. I like your accent. I bought distinction. Thank you. I'll say yeah. I want to become able to speak English like you, so I practiced with distinction 1 and 2 in 2000. Due to them and you, I can enjoy learning. Thank you. どこのブランドのシャツですか? I forgot the name. I think I already answered that question on Twitter, so you should grow up for it on Twitter. By the way, Jake released a video where he picked... Yeah, I watched that. I liked the intro. Okay. I'm a university student. Which distinction should you use? I recommend, like, if you are a university student already, and if you think that you've got the fundamentals already built up for the next step, I think you should do distinction 1 and 2, because distinction 2000 is more of a what's it called? A really fundamental that actually, lays the foundation, the ground for the very next step, which is to fill the gap between your English level and native speakers. Well, of course, you don't have to become a native, but if you had the desire, then you could actually use distinction 1 and 2. So in my head, distinction 2000 is more like core 1900, like a dual 3.0. And distinction 1 and 2 are like really unique vocab books that you can't buy at bookstores, I reckon. You're gonna be checked in Haneda in 3 days? Checked in? You're leaving Sydney. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm still debating whether I will enter Atsueigo High School or not. What is this thing, so we can learn from it. So I think I've already posted like some trailers or teaser videos of Atsueigo High School on YouTube. That's where you can learn like all the tiny nuances that English teachers wouldn't actually teach you in class. So it's actually based upon my natural questions that my teachers in the past had never answered. Like how would you feel if that was A, or something like that. Okay, so if you want to know like all those small tiny nuances that you can't really easily learn in a normal class, then that's the best place to learn. Okay, so we are running out of time now, because I've got a business meeting in a couple minutes, so I have to leave now. But thank you very much, everyone, for coming to my random YouTube live. I don't know how I should wrap this up, but thank you so much, guys. I'll catch you later again, and I definitely keep posting videos on YouTube during this period as well. So I hope you can, spend your time wisely and do whatever you can do to, best spend your time. Spend your time most wisely. Maybe I've said the same thing again. But anyway, bye-bye. I don't know how to stop this.